Welcome. I'm your host, AlleyCat. My pronouns are they, them, and this is the Tad Bit Obsessive podcast. Tad Bit Obsessive is a podcast that entertains the neurodivergent people who long to hear about random lighthearted deep dives, not narrowed down to fun facts and video essays. We talk if only for a temporary smile. We're here with my bestest bestie! The first conversation we ever had was comparing symptoms so loudly and enthusiastically that we had to be reminded that we were in public and disturbing the peace. Whenever I can find an individual who can match my freak, I'm immensely joyous. Say hello to my bestie, Sai!
Hi.
What are your pronouns?
I use all pronouns or any of them.
People who use all pronouns, honestly, jealous, because you just, you chill with everything.
Can't misgender me if you tried.
Yeah, that's epic. So today, we're going to be doing one of my favorite activities, which is assigning headcanons. I do this so much. I will assign headcanons to anything and everything that lives or breathes or doesn't live and doesn't breathe.
Remember at that time at D&D where we were assigning sexualities to objects?
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Like strawberries, total cottagecore lesbian. She, her pronouns. Raspberry, also cottagecore lesbian. Most of the berries are lesbians. Bananas are an aromantic gay man who wears suspenders, bow ties, and is an accountant and bad at his job.
I remember we said something about stairs, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, we said that stairs were
bi because they go both ways.
Yeah, we said that doors were bi and escalators were bi. I think stairs were pan, maybe? Something was pan, maybe.
I thought stairs were... No, not stairs. Stairs were bi because they both go both ways, but escalators were straight because they go one way.
Oh, yeah. And then elevators.
Elevators are bi because they go both ways.
Yeah. Unless it's like from Willy Wonka. Those elevators that move in all directions, I think those are pan.
Those are weird elevators. I like them.
Yeah.
I've never seen Willy Wonka, but that sounds
You
fun.
haven't? Okay. Well, the elevator goes up, inside, and diagonal. It moves in all directions, and then it shoots through the roof, and then they land in his house, I think.
All I know is that girl turns into, like, a big blueberry, and then,
yeah.
Like, she floats away.
Speaking of blueberries, I think, are also... okay, hot take. I think bi-romantic lesbian.
I don't know if that's a hot take, because I don't know if anybody else has opinions on the sexuality of fruit.
Most people don't like the split sexuality headcanons.
Well, those people can eat rocks.
Yeah. Anyway, would you like to start or would I like to start?
I know you would like to start.
I know I'd like to start. Okay, Mater. Mater from specifically Cars 2. Cars 2 is an awesome movie, and everyone who doesn't think so is losers who don't think sequels could ever be good. Most of the times they're not good, and they're cash grabs, which Cars 2 definitely is a cash grab, but it is amazing. They have an awesome sound person who did the sound stuff. His name's oh my gosh, his name is Michael Giacchino. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he did the soundtrack for Up. He did the soundtrack for Ratatouille, which also has a good soundtrack. Oh my gosh. And he's done soundtracks for over 200 movies. He's amazing. Anyway, the music of Cars 2 is awesome. And also, Tow Mater from Cars 2 is really, really awesome. He reads autistic to me. He doesn't get the social signals. He's loud at inappropriate times, which for real, me relate. Probably AuDHD, most definitely. But also, he has a girlfriend, but also he's not specifically super romantic with his girlfriend. But he's very much his girlfriend is oh my gosh, I forgot her name.
I forgot that Tomater has a girlfriend.
Her name is Holly. She's a spy. He's just thrilled. He's like, oh my gosh, I have a girlfriend. This is great. Or is this a date? And he's doesn't realize that fighting bad guys in alleyways isn't a date. And
I don't know, it might be a date.
It could be a date. It could be. And at the end, she kisses him, and then he's like, yes, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, he's awesome. And but he also is third wheeling Lightning McQueen and Sally all the time. Okay, but also Sally and Lightning aren't upset about it. They're not. They're like, "Oh, Mater, if you wanted to spend time with us, you could have just said so." And like and like on their date, Mater's like trying to serve them food, pretending to be a waiter, and they're like
pretending to be a mater.
He's pretending to be himself.
Dude, Mater's out there pretending to be a mater, and honestly, we need him to knock it off.
And so, but it's just great, and the whole movie is about the bond with him and Lightning McQueen, and Lightning McQueen is taking him for granted because Lightning's like, "You're not being socially acceptable right now. These aren't the social signals. Like, you're being oblivious." And he's just like, "I'm just trying to be me." And like one thing he says is like, "This ain't Radiator Springs," as in like, you can be yourself at home, but when we're out of the house, stop being you.
Been there before.
At the end, he's just like, "But this is Radiator Springs." And it's like, even though it's not Radiator Springs, they're going to save the queen from the bomb.
Obviously, I have forgotten all of Cars 2.
There was like a 5-month period where I put Cars 2 on loop every night. And so like for a solid 4 months, I was watching Cars 2 like 2 times a night.
My niece is obsessed with Frozen, but she calls Frozen Anna. And so we'll watch Anna, and then she goes, "Let's watch Anna 2." And we finish Frozen 2, and she goes, "Anna 3." And I have to go, "Honey, there is no Anna 3. I don't know. There is none. There is not an Anna 3." And she's not happy about it. And I'm like, "Sorry, girl, I don't know what to tell you."
That's so bizarre that she chose Anna as the most
as
noticeable character.
I know. I think Elsa is definitely a lesbian, but there's like no one to ship her with, because the one person that you could almost ship her with in like Frozen 2 is maybe her cousin. Where it's like, because we don't technically know, like by the end of the movie, you don't know enough about her side of the family to know which of them she's related to. So it's like, it's still not good to date your cousin.
It's never good to date your cousin.
It's never good. So
don't date your cousin. Doesn't matter if it's legal. You know, there's a lot of things that are legal that
you shouldn't do. Bad plan.
Yeah.
But I need to know who to ship Elsa with, because she needs a girlfriend, but it can't be your cousin.
I was stuck. That moment when you need to ship someone with someone, but they can't be their cousin. No. But I was in that stage for a long period, and I've never seen Frozen 2, because I remember when it came out, I was like at that stage in my life where I was like, I know she's never gonna have a girlfriend, and I rage quit because she needs a girlfriend. But now I'm at this stage in my life where I'm like, a romantic Elsa? Like Merida? 100% a romantic.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I definitely agree with Merida, and I do think that Elsa could be a good candidate for being aromantic. I just think the reason it's not my go-to is because she spent, like, story-wise, she spent so much of her life pushing everybody away.
Oh, true.
And I think it would just be really sweet to see her, like, be in love.
What if, hear me out. Okay. Yeah. Merida, Elsa, queer platonic relationship.
I don't know. It's hard just because I feel like they could complement each other, but I also feel like they are both very headstrong.
Merida's very loud and abrasive, and then Elsa she's more resigned, you know? She needs that tenderness.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because she has spent her whole life, like, pushing people away, bottling emotions up, and not... I think she needs somebody who will be, like, patient with her and help her learn how to communicate those feelings instead of loud and fast and all that. Like, what is the older sister from Lilo and Stitch? I don't know her name because I've never seen Lilo and Stitch. But from what I've seen, I think that her and Elsa would be good together because she's like, you know, she's like the older sister of Lilo, whereas like she's also, I believe, Lilo's primary nanny. She's Lilo's primary like caregiver and legal guardian, where it's like she's patient, but also like will put her foot down when she needs to be like, hey, talk to me. Lilo and Stitch hanging out with Olaf.
Oh yeah,
that would be crazy.
That'd be great.
Olaf and Stitch can find out emotions together. They can be like, oh, so like, what is this all about? How does feelings work?
I love was her name Nani? I already forgot.
It was Nani.
Nani. She reminds me so much of my sister, but also she's much more angry than my sister. She's just like, I'm gonna, like, what does she say? I'm gonna, like, I can't remember. She's like, I'm gonna bake you into a pie and like feed you to the family inspector.
That is such an older sister thing to do, though. Whereas, like, my older brother would have said that to me. But then again, I had reoccurring nightmares about my older brother, but they weren't normal. I don't know if I've ever told you about this, but I used to have a nightmare that we were at my grandparents' house, and my Disney princess pink tent was set up inside the guest bedroom. I was like some sort of colorful bird, either a parrot or like a toucan. And my older brother was a bear, and I was hiding in my Disney princess tent, and my big brother was looking for me, and that was the dream, and I would have it over and over again when I was like 6. I would be hiding from my older brother who was a bear, and I was a bird.
Oh my goodness.
It was a reoccurring dream.
Okay, yesterday, I was saying so many childhood memories with my family, and they were displeased for most of them.
Uh-oh.
Not like displeased as in like we're upset with you, but displeased as in, why are you so weird? You are so autistic. One of them was me talking about the piece of broccoli that I named Fred.
Yeah.
And
I know Fred.
I'm like, you don't understand. I need to pull up my text messages from 4 years ago, and tell you about Fred and show you the picture of Fred. I ate him and I'll never oh, by the way, we should say
I
Fred.
was gonna say you have to tell the folks at home about Fred, because this is serious.
Fred is a piece of broccoli. He was
a little piece of broccoli. He was wimpy.
My mom picked him up and said, this is the weirdest piece of broccoli I've ever seen. And I said, I love him. I am so emotionally attached to him, and if you eat him, I will cry. And my mom recently was like, I'm not eating this piece of broccoli because you will cry. And let me describe Fred for you. He was wobbly, and his like limbs were wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, and
wimey limbs.
And like a lot of his branches didn't have the
little flowers on them,
little buds. He looked autistic, and I loved him for that, but I could not throw Fred away. By the way, speaking of headcanons, I headcanon Fred is autistic. Actually, I'm deciding. Fred is autistic, and you can do nothing about it, because he's dead. So, he's been dead for 4 years. I ate him. Anyway. As the person who ate him, I get to decide what his diagnosis is. So, I could not throw him away. Rotting in the garbage? And then, like, going to, like being burned or buried or whatever they do with garbage that's not productive. I couldn't make Fred have that sad, sad, lonely fate. And so I had to eat Fred. And it was tough. It was tough. I'm kind of not over it still.
It's been 4 years.
It's been over 4 years. Oh, yeah. Back to Lightning McQueen. Okay, hear me out. Mater is aro ace, but like Cupio romantic, asexual, and pan queer platonic.
Can you remind me what that one with the C you said
Cupio
was?
romantic means someone who does not experience romantic attraction but still wants a romantic relationship.
Oh,
so I think he's in a romantic relationship with Holly, and that he's in a queer platonic relationship with Sally and Lightning, and I think Sally and Lightning are in a romantic relationship because they're both allo-romantic. And yeah, and that's yeah.
Mm-hmm. So One, I think, is that the Chosen from Smosh. I think that he is Ace, and that's why he's nofap. He thinks that he's just really good at being nofap, but actually he just doesn't wanna. But he just thinks that he's so dedicated and good at not
so
jerking
real, so real. I remember my asexual journey was literally this. I was a minor, and I was like, bro, I could never have sex. That would be wild. I'm a minor. But, like, adult me probably could do that. Maybe. I can envision that, maybe. And then I was an adult, and my first feeling when I was an adult was like, oh no, people can legally have sex with me. That was
not without you saying that they can.
That was what it comforted me, is that, like, oh yeah, that's still illegal, right? I'm like,
you go, oh yeah, I have to say they're allowed to.
But, like, my number one fear was, oh no, sex time.
Oh no,
not sex time. So realizing that, oh, never is sex time. And I realized when I was in 8th grade, I remember we were having our sexual education class, and she was just like, you should wait till you're adults. And I said, what if I want to die a virgin? Like, I want to be in my grave and be a virgin. And everyone else in the class was just appalled. And, a fun fact, someone in that class had asked me out on a date on a little piece of paper by putting it in my backpack, and I pretended I never saw it.
And also, still shocking to me that you made it to 8th grade before going like, maybe I'm not straight. But I guess it makes sense.
I have so much to say. Okay, first off, that guy who asked me on a date, I remember we were kind of friends, and at one point he's just like, I was doing my homework in the hallway, and he's just like, watch this, and then he like rolled on his back with the backpack on, like as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and then like stood up and did like a karate chop or something,
like break dancing.
No, he like tumble rolled down the hallway and then stood up and did like a karate pose. Anyway, he asked me on a date, but I didn't want to go on a date with anybody in my whole entire life ever, and so I pretended I didn't see it, and then but after I had said that thing and how I wanted to die a virgin, he didn't talk to me ever again. So win-win.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about The Chosen.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I can relate to that, being like, oh, I thought I was I thought, I was just being, I don't know, morally upholding, and instead it's just like, nah, people gross.
Yeah, you just thought you were upholding your early, oh yes, I'm supposed to abstain, and then you were like, oh, abstaining is so easy, and then you go, oh wait a minute,
it's like, can I abstain forever? I remember when I thought I was gay, my ideal relationship was marrying a gay man, and then we would just like, okay, so hear me out. Okay, so I really love Twilight, and in the Twilight movie Breaking Dawn, it's just like Edward's like trying not to have sex with her, so he's like, let's play with dolphins, and let's go swimming, and let's go snorkeling, and let's play chess. And I remember being at that point in my life, and I'm like, I want to swim with dolphins and go snorkeling and play chess and never have sex on my honeymoon. Can I marry a gay man who doesn't want to have sex with me?
You could just marry somebody else who doesn't want to. But also, I get your point where it's like, you also don't want to get married to somebody, so like, fair.
Yeah.
I know you have the experience with your family where you're like, they don't think I'm so weird because I'm autistic, and I have like a different experience with my family because I'll be experiencing having autism. And then I look at my dad, and he's experiencing having autism because this motherfucker will get like a bag, like a big bag of coins from the bank, and sit at his little desk in the living room and look at all these coins to see which ones are good coins, and then he'll roll them all up. He sits at his desk and he does so many coins. And then I'll look at my younger brother, and he's experiencing having autism. And he's doing his little robots, and he's doing the everything. He's going to the state robotics competition for robots, and I'm like, this shit is autistic as hell. And my mom will go to the robotics competition and go, damn, I've never seen so much stimming in just one room. Direct quote from my mom. And that I see my grandpa and I'm like, damn, that's experiencing autism. He also likes coins just like my father. Because he's my father's father. But he also loves bidding websites.
Okay.
He likes like old machinery. My grandpa's kind of like a funny old wizard. He built a double-decker bike, so it's a bike on top of a bike, where it's got a set of wheels, which is connected to the bottom of the bike, and then on top of that, there's another set of wheels, and up there has the seat. And he'll also like get a bunch of like lawnmowers and snow blowers on the auction websites, and then he'll like fix them up and sell them, and I'm like, sir, this is autism, I fear. Like obviously they all have like different symptoms that is more than just their special interests, and like I see those symptoms on like a day-to-day basis, but it's still really funny where I just go, damn, this entire family, you're all autistic. And then there's my niece, who's my older brother's daughter, and she's 5 years old, and she's definitely autistic. She's had like the delayed speech, the everything that is your stereotypical autism journey. Additionally, whenever she plays like kitchen, she's bringing everybody in the house like a set of plate, bowl, fork, spoon, cup, and it's all color coordinated. Like one of you's getting all the blue, one of you's getting all the yellow, one of you's getting all the green, one of you's getting all the red, and then she'll bring you color coordinated food to go on that plate. So if you got the yellow plate, you're getting the banana, you're getting some bread, you're getting cheese, and like I'm like, girl, this is autism. I fear, honey, this is autism.
Yesterday, one of the stories that I told was about how I had I think 60 color pencils, and I love my color pencils. I was obsessed with memorizing my color pencils, and here's the thing I did. I would go to everyone I knew, every person who was in a room with me, in my class, teachers, librarians, people in other grades, and I'd be like, you don't understand, I need to sit you right down, and I need to inform you of each name of every single color pencil I have, and then I'm gonna quiz you on it. And then afterwards I'd beg them to quiz me, and I'd get them all right, cause I love my color pencils.
That's so fun. I genuinely, you know how like people have like a thing that they are very connected to from when they're a child that's like generally called like a lovey or like a stuffed animal or a specific blanket.
My blue teddy.
Yes. So my brothers both have one. And I was like, Mom, how come I don't have something I was connected to? She was like, I gave you options. You just weren't down with anything specifically. And I was like, that's fair enough, I guess. Because I feel deeply about all of my things, but not like, I'm really bad at choosing favorites, like in general.
It's like all I do with my life.
I have favorites of some things, but specifically like favorite characters are hard because I like them a lot. And I like a lot of them a lot.
Speaking of blue teddy. One thing, I was looking at OCD symptoms, because I have OCD, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Because I knew the whole, the superstition between good and bad numbers, but I didn't know there was good and bad color superstition, and I'm like, oh my goodness. When I was a kid, because I have a pink teddy and I have a blue teddy, and I always slept with blue teddy because I was convinced if I ever slept with pink teddy, I would have nightmares because it happened once. And I'm like, I'll never sleep with pink teddy ever again. It's blue teddy here on out. And if I do have a nightmare with blue teddy, that's not his fault. But if I have a nightmare
cursed me.
pink teddy cursed me. Yeah.
So you really like, it's blue for me.
Blue.
For now.
Blue forever. Well, not forever. Now I like green. Sorry.
And you like pink a lot.
Oh, I love pink.
And so here's the thing you don't know, or maybe you do know, but it's very important about Cat. They have a collection of chickens, and there's the chickens, and then there's the bears, and they're like a kingdom. But then they also have this other shelf that is full of like pink stuffed animals, and allegedly they're not a kingdom, but I think that they are a kingdom. So I have headcanoned that they are a kingdom because I said so.
You said that they should be in the strawberry milk kingdom because here's the thing.
They're so pink. And you were like,
Loppy Poppy is the Duke of Strawberry Milkshake Land. But there's no citizens of Strawberry Milkshake Land, which you think is wrong.
There are citizens. They're all on that shelf. I see them all the time.
Okay. Now we gotta go look at my stuffed animals.
We'll be back.
So we looked at my stuffed animals, and we can say there's probably about like 15 pink stuffed animals. Yeah. I have a lot. People have asked me if I've ever counted my stuffed animals, which I haven't. I have counted my fowl. One moment. I have a counting app because I suck at counting. And they're autistic. I counted my fowl on on the chickens or me or both.
You.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable declaring that an entire kingdom is autistic.
No, the chickens are the army. The kingdom is the bears.
I don't know if I feel comfortable declaring that an entire army is autistic.
Thank you for saying that sentence. So I have 71 fowl, and also all of the fowl are chickens. Because I said so.
Yeah, one of them's a rat.
Oh yeah,
but he's
the
a
rat
chicken.
is an honorary chicken.
What about what's the one who makes the cupcake?
Joey.
Yes, he's so silly. He's a banana?
He's a banana.
He's a chicken though.
He is the captain of the Marines. And all the Marines are fruits. They're literally fruits.
I have a question. Are the fruits considered chicken?
No.
Oh, okay. So the Marines are different from the army.
Yeah. A fun fact about Joey, he's very bad at his job, but he makes awesome muffins. And everybody loves him. So everyone's just like, yeah, let's make him our boss. So every time there's a meeting, he just shows up with his muffins and no plan. And he's just like, here's muffins, everybody. And then somebody else comes up with a plan. And he just sits there and he's just like, I have muffins. And we love Joey.
Yes. I fear that this podcast has become not about headcanons because it's headcanons, very, very fun. Also fun to talk about silly little things because just like, oh, what about this story? What about this? Oh my gosh, this is so silly.
This is kind of all about headcanons.
And my headcanon is that Strawberry Milkland does in fact have citizens.
That's a headcanon. So like I talked about Fred and his headcanons.
I don't
and
know
my
if
chickens.
Fred is a headcanon because you're the author of Fred.
I am.
So
the
that
author
might
of
be
Fred.
canon.
Or is God the author of Fred?
Yeah.
I think God's the author of Fred.
But
I don't.
In your head, is God the author of me?
No.
Am I the author of me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the author of you?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like we were given the potential of life, and we just choose what we do with it because we have free will. And
Fred is a broccoli, so he doesn't.
Let's bring in philosophy class because I love philosophy class. Okay,
I've never taken one of those.
Oh, you should. It is.
I don't have time.
Anyway, it's in philosophy. One of the arguments as to why God didn't exist, which is if the God exists and he believes in good and he loves everyone and he wants good for everyone, why does evil exist? So then there comes the argument, the necessary evil, as in, does the value of free will outweigh necessary evil? Because the idea that good that is chosen is more valuable than good that is ordered. So being able to choose things that are good outweighs the fact that, okay, there is some evil in the world, but also people get to choose to be good. So anyway, I believe in the same way that we were given that potential, but it is up to us to decide what to do with our lives. We are our own authors and we have free will. So Fred, I feel like since he doesn't have free will, God is his author.
Okay. In a funny way.
Okay.
In a not serious way.
Cool.
In a way, are not you to Fred what God is to you?
Well, let me think that out. Okay, one moment.
Because you're the one who gives Fred, like, you're personifying
I'm giving him the free will.
Kind of. Where, like, he's still broccoli. So, like, in, like, a not really way.
Okay, actually, I counter offer.
Okay.
God is to God as I am to Fred. So
God is
okay,
as you are to Fred.
Okay,
Whoa.
so if my life, God is my creator and I am my free will, in Fred's life, God is his creator, I am his free will, I am Fred.
I love that.
I ate myself 4 years ago.
So just, this is funny to me. Fred is also the name of the rainbow dinosaur that is my little brother's, the rainbow dinosaur that is the mascot for my little brother's robotics team.
Awesome.
Broccoli, and you ate yourself, and also you're a rainbow dinosaur.
And I also am the mascot of a robotics team, which is also autistic. So, like, I'm the most autistic to ever autistic at this point. Yeah, I should be king.
Yeah. I was thinking, should we tell the folks at home? That's what I'm gonna call the audience. The audience is the folks at home.
The folks at home.
Our qualifications, and by that I mean our diagnosis, or those sorts of things, so that we can be like, I'm not just calling everybody autistic, I am autistic, so I can call everyone autistic. It's allowed.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to count because there's a lot.
Okay.
We actually can. I'll count. Okay. Yeah. But make sure I don't copy anything.
I'll try my best.
Autistic, ADHD, OCD, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, depression, PTSD, hypersensitivity disorder, fibromyalgia, and insomnia. Boom. That's all 10 of my diagnoses. Yeah. And then queer wise, lithoromantic, lithosexual as of now.
Can I get a definition for that? Just because I can't. Those are one of the ones I can't remember.
Yeah. So, like, lithoromantic, lithosexual are both on the aro-ace spectrum. And they basically mean that I don't want a romantic relationship or a sexual relationship, but I can at times have that romantic or sexual attraction, but I also don't want to pursue it or have it reciprocated.
Fair enough. Should I go now?
Yep.
Okay, so I have insomnia.
Insomnia.
It's a hard word for me to say. I'm dyslexic. I have ADHD. Generalized anxiety disorder. PTSD. Oh no, I fear I'm losing the room. Did I say I'm autistic already? And then also I have scoliosis, which is not a mental disorder, but my back hurts.
Let's start headcanon characters with scoliosis.
That would be so funny. What my headcanon is, Shoji from My Hero is actually supposed to be like 3 inches taller than he already is because he has scoliosis.
Yes!
And he has scoliosis because of the way that his arms grow out of his back, whereas like his back just bent a little bit the wrong way because too many arms.
That's what happened to you. You have too many arms in the That's one too many.
No.
That's why you have scoliosis. You're
That's
only
horrifying.
meant for one arm.
I was supposed to be born with one arm, so instead I have a
It
crooked
was
ass
God's
back.
plan, but your free will got in the way.
My free will got me another arm.
Your fetus self
crazy,
said,
dude.
"I want another arm. I want to be like everyone else."
Okay, that's wicked. Then queer. Oh, you didn't say your gender.
Oh yeah, my gender. Okay, my pronouns are they, them, so I just stick with non-binary or gender non-conforming or transmasc, whatever. Don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for me, queer-wise, I'm demisexual, and biromantic. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm agender, which for me just means I don't gender, which is why I feel comfortable with any pronouns because meh. I feel nothing towards any of them, so it's all chill.
Yeah.
And that's me.
Okay, do you wanna steamroll some headcanons?
I forgot what I was gonna say about Toad, but all I know is that I thought him autistic, but I don't remember what noise he makes.
He talks like this.
Yeah, and you're peeking the mic.
I'm thinking the mic, but that's what's meant to happen with Toad.
And to me, that's just autism. You ever heard Toad talk? That's autistic
I love
as hell.
the Toad covers of songs. Okay, everybody listening at home, the folks at home, you need to look up Toad singing Chandelier by Sia. Or you can listen to me and my dad's favorite, which is Toad singing Chandelier. Not Chandelier, I just said that. Singing Burn from the Hamilton musical. Anyway. I'm gonna move on to Glimmer. Glimmer?
Who?
Andrew Glimmer from Pajama Sam 2.
Okay, so
Thunder and lightning aren't so frightening. Let me pull up a picture of him. Actually, no. Here, this is all you need to know. He is a very anxious stapler.
Yeah, so nobody else on Earth except for you is gonna get this.
Okay. I had canon. He has OCD, panic disorder, and generalized anxiety. He is paranoid of getting fired. That is canon. He is. He has the compulsion. This is headcanon. But, I believe okay, first start with canon. He is in charge of the office supplies. He doesn't want anyone to ever use any office supplies. Because someone might need them. How are they supposed to use them if they need them? Exactly. So, like, if Pajama Sam goes up and is just like, "Hey, can I have a paperclip?" And he's just like, "No, somebody might need them."
But Pajama Sam needs them.
Exactly. And so the only thing that you can take from his office, well, you can get a P/76Z form to be able to get in office supplies, but the only thing you can take besides that, besides the form, is a ribbon, because he was supposed to get 100 and he got 1,000, so he's trying to get rid of them before George someone finds out. George someone, here's the thing, I didn't realize this till now, not till now, but like till a year ago. George someone is a stapler remover, and he's obsessed with apples. So I think, so that's funny of why Andrew Glimmer thinks he's gonna get fired. But Andrew Glimmer has done nothing wrong in his job, except for the fact that he won't let anyone use any office supplies. But which arguably means he's bad at his job. But here's the thing, is he is so terrified of getting fired. And so I headcanon that he used to work in retail and everybody was mean to him, and he would have lots of panic attacks, and now he's just terrified of people being angry at him all the time. And I also think he's dating the chair, not the chairman and not the board members. By the way, the board members are boards and the chairman is a chair who's a man. And but the specifically, oh my gosh, I forgot his favorite food is prunes, and his favorite color right now. Okay, Andrew Glimmer, canon. This is canon. His favorite food is prunes, and his favorite color is beige. Okay, his name is Brad Carpenter. Let me look it up. Brad Carpenter. Okay, no, not a real person. I mean,
Pajama same.
Brad Carpenter. I think he's dating Brad Carpenter because Brad Carpenter is wonderful, and he's just like a chill guy. And he's also very convoluted. Brad Carpenter, he's all like, "Oh, you gotta call to make an appointment. I don't care that you're right here in front of me. You gotta call." And he's like, "Well, how do I call?" And he's just like, "I can't tell you." And so, you gotta go find the number to look up to call, and then you gotta be like, "I'm here to meet someone." And he's just like, "Okay, George Summerman, we'll see you now." Anyway,
not George someone.
His name is George someone, and he's obsessed with apples. You get him an apple. This is canon. First thing he does, goes to the cafeteria, puts the apple on the table, sits on the chair, and stares at it for the rest of the game. Lovingly. He loves apples. Before you get him an apple, he is daydreaming about apples. Literally. He's just like, apples.
It's giving Tokoyami.
And he just loves apples. His favorite food is apples. And here's where headcanon time. I think Andrew Glimmer has a phobia of apples.
Oh no.
And that is why he's afraid of George someone, because he can't trust anyone who loves apples that much. Good.
Another headcanon that I have is about Laios and Marcel from
Dungeon Menchie.
Yes, or Delicious in Dungeon if you're a gringo like me. But I think they're both autistic. I think that Laios has like a special interest in monsters, and he info dumps so much, and he doesn't pick up on cues of people not liking him or people not being interested.
I relate so much.
Yeah.
That was me my entire childhood. Like, just refer back to me telling you about how I would tell everybody about color pencils and quiz them all, and no one liked me. It's because I would quiz everybody I met about my color pencil collection.
Sadly, there are a lot of stories about nobody liking Cat in elementary school. It's sad.
School.
Yeah, until you
switch schools.
And then for Marcel, I also think that she has a special interest, but it's in like magic. She also makes friends like kind of very quickly, where she's like, Talon, oh my god, you're my friend right now.
You're my
friend
right now.
I do that like after I got on anxiety medication, the first time I made a friend by myself in college, not through like a friend of a friend. We were sitting next to each other in a math class, and I went, "Hi, do you want to be my friend?" And then now they're my best friend, and I sit next to them all the time. They're one of my best friends. I have lots of friends. And then also Marcel has a lot of like food aversions, where like yes, they're eating weird food, but it's also like a lot of times she's like adverse to like the texture and being like, this is weird, and then she's like, oh, this is actually good if I try it, but like, and I'm like, so me, girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the friend I made at college, my open liner was I'm autistic. Are you autistic?
Were they?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So now we're friends. We've been friends for a few years. They looked autistic. They were doing a lot of autistic things. And I'm like, I do those things. But I can't just walk up to them and say, are you autistic? So I gotta tell them I'm autistic. So, by the way, before I talked to them, I was standing like 10 feet away. No one else in the hallway. And I was just standing there for like 6 minutes, rehearsing my line, trying to figure out what I should say. And I went with, hi, I'm autistic. Are you autistic? And they said yes. And then we compared symptoms for like an hour, and now we're friends. Honestly, my favorite way to make friends. Comparing symptoms is tight.
Dude, is that how we first met each other?
100%.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yes. So, Kat switched to the school I had been going to my entire life when we were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And then through all of 8th grade, because my best friend had just moved to Texas, in 7th grade, so I was not I wasn't meeting people. I was just like sitting with the friends that I had made through that best friend and like not really being that social. And then in like 8th grade, birds of a feather flock together and our like entire table is autistic as shit. And they're like all still like very good friends of ours. But like first we found out that Kat and our friend Alex were autistic like right before our freshman year of high school, and slowly over the years we have all been getting diagnosed with autism. And we go, that makes sense.
Like
that's
the same
crazy.
thing happened with queer stuff too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Where the way I found out I was queer is our friend Emmy was like, "Oh, I'm bi," and I said, "What's that mean?" And then they said, "That means that you like girls and boys at the same time." And I said, "That's allowed?"
I love that trope.
Yeah, I didn't know I could do that. And then I did it, and then I was like, whoa.
What? That's 100... Okay, back on the topic of headcanons, that's 100% how I headcanon Denki's sexuality crisis. Yes. He just one day finds out bisexual people exist, and then that's allowed?
I'm allowed to like girls and boys? And then he's like, wait until you hear about this secret third option, non-binary people.
Whoa, wow.
But yeah, it happened pretty much exactly like that. And from that original friend group, we only have one friend who is straight and cis.
The next part of the thing that I had planned, the last thing I was thinking what we'd do is I'd say a character, and then you come up with a headcanon, and then you say a character, I come up with a headcanon. Okay, so my character that I'm choosing is Emmett from Twilight.
Oh, definitely ADHD.
100%.
I think that he could be bi and just not know it because he's in love with Rosalie so much.
Yeah.
Which is valid, but definitely ADHD. I don't think any like anxiety issues. He's so extroverted. He's so teddy bear. I love that guy. I think that's my diagnosis.
I feel like he could be bi, but I feel like he's definitely so in love with Rosalie that it doesn't even matter to him. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I guess I could kiss a guy, but why would I? I have an awesome wife.
My wife.
He loves his wife.
Yeah, because he's like, I could kiss a guy, but why would I want to? The same way he's like, I could kiss a different girl, but a wife.
And I love that. I love that for him.
Me as well. My first character I thought of was Animal from the Muppets.
Oh my gosh. I think he does have anger issues, obviously. But, what if he doesn't have anger issues and he just has meltdowns a lot?
He's just having autistic meltdowns where he's like, because he's overstimulated.
Overstimulated, so he just goes, ah!
And everybody's expecting so much from him, but he doesn't know how to communicate that he doesn't.
Connor from Detroit Become Human.
Well, he's autistic. He's a robot. But 2, he's autistic.
Most robots are autistic.
Yeah, like talk about his pattern recognition. Some would say that that's the software. But I would say that that's autism. And similarly, not going away when Hank is like, go the fuck away. He doesn't hear that. He hears, oh, that's for me. That's my buddy for me.
I love it when he goes to the office and looks at Hank's stuff and is just like, oh, he has like a picture of like baseball or something like that. And he's just like, let's talk to this guy about baseball. And he's like, shut up.
Yes, or he's like, oh, this kind of music you like? And Hank's like, die.
It's like trying so hard to do friends, and it's like
and they sit down at the restaurant, and Hank is like, and Connor is like, that has this much sodium in it, and Hank is like, I'm gonna die either way. Okay, get off my ass. I've been trying to think of other characters, but right now the only ones that will come to my head are the ones from the Sid and Olivia Love Island.
Oh, yeah.
So the only ones that have come to my head are Rainbow Fish and the Giving Tree.
Okay. Rainbow fish, Neptunic.
Oh, yeah.
Rainbow fish is Neptunic. And, agender.
Yeah.
Or gender apathetic. Either one. And, generalized anxiety disorder.
Oh, definitely.
And, rejection sensitivity dysphoria.
Oh,
because
for sure.
Rainbow Fish just gives and gives and gives.
That could be said like for the Giving Tree as well.
Same, yeah. I think the Giving Tree has OCD.
Probably.
Because I see that with the assurance seeking. Like, as in, please like me, I'll give you applesauce, I'll give you anything. That seems like a compulsion to me. Yeah. Like, please see me as a good person. Yeah. I am doing this thing. I get a little bit of satisfaction when you accept the thing I give you, so I'm going to keep doing it to get rid of this anxiety I have. One more thing about the Giving Tree. Arrow Ace was serious compet.
Yeah, for sure. So, my next one is Lord Licorice.
Oh my gosh! I loved the candy. Okay, have you ever played the Candyland video game?
No. I didn't know that there was one.
Okay, there was a Candyland video game from like the 90s. And it was the best. My grandparents had it on their computer. One second, I gotta pull up pictures of it. Where is he? There he is! Oh my gosh, look at him! This is the first thing that my brain went to.
Yeah.
From the 19th. There he is.
Oh, I hate his nose. Horrifying.
He talked like this. Like he was shrill. He was shrill, kind of like Dr. Doofenshmirtz, but like gayer. And like you turn off the light switch. Where's the light switch? And you turn off the light switch, and then he gets so scared of the dark.
I didn't know about this about Lord Licorice. I was just thinking of the little drawing of him on the board game.
Anyway, gay. Very gay. Generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder. I don't think he has autism. Hot take, he doesn't have autism.
Once again, I don't know if it's a hot take because nobody else has ever thought about this in their life.
We love being original.
Anyway.
Okay, it's outro time.
Play the music.
This has been Tad Bit Obsessive, making headcanons with Bestie Sigh, wreaking chaos across many fandoms and not fandoms and fandoms that nobody cares about, with our projection and hyperfixation. Hopefully we risked you with autism, or maybe you're a AuDHD like us. Regardless of your neuro status, I hope you have a lovely time listening to two weirdos doing weird crap. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.